Welcome to another edition of Husky Mag. I'm Kirsten Krull alongside my partner Madison Golden.
It was an eventful week in St. Cloud sports as we said our thanks to senior athletes and also a farewell to some Husky winter sports for the season.
Men's basketball headed to Fayette, Iowa last Wednesday to take on Upper Iowa University in the NSIC Sanford Health Tournament. The Huskies held a 1-point lead heading into halftime, but the Peacocks would attack in the second half and end St. Cloud State's season with an 87-80 win. Gage Davis held the top spot on the stats board with a double-double totaling 24 points and 14 rebounds. Scotty Stone shot for 21 points and ended the night with 5 defensive rebounds.
John Avercamp also put up 19 points for the Huskies, making those 3 players the top shooters of the night on both teams. Jernell Hughes was the top scorer for the Peacocks with 14 points.
St. Cloud State out-rebounded Upper Iowa, totaling 46 rebounds on the night compared to Upper Iowa's 33 rebounds.
The Huskies played well defensively, but offensively just fell short. Players were announced this week for the NSIC First Team All-American. 3 players from Augusta topping off the list, but as far as SCSU goes, no surprise that freshman forward Gage Davis made the team. Averaging 14.5 points and 3 assists per game, we can see why he finishes off the list. David put up 24 points with 14 rebounds in the Huskies' final game of the season against the Peacocks. Davis also has a total of 570 total points, right behind Scotty Stone.
Gage Davis hasn't been the only men's basketball star receiving postseason honors. Guard Scotty Stone represents the Cardinal in black by making his way onto the second team for all-conference. Jordan Spencer of Augustana topped the list, and Northern State had 2 guards representing their program. Scotty Stone has a season total of 578 points. One freshman who has stood apart from the rest dramatically is Gage Davis again for the men's basketball team. Davis was named to the first team and also was honored as the NSIC Freshman of the Year. Davis comes to St. Cloud from Bolingbrook, Illinois. In his first season with the Huskies, he has totaled 131 points and has averaged 19.7 points per game. He has shot over 500 from the field and has shot 3-pointers just under 500. We congratulate Gage Davis on a great season.
It was the first round of the playoffs for St. Cloud State's women's basketball, starting things off as Emma Konopasek passes off to Lauren Novak for the 3. From Concordia, Hannah Valand passes to Kira Freidenberg for a 3. Then it's Michaela Jones getting yet another 3 for Concordia. For the Huskies, it's Chelsea Nooker getting a 2. Now it's Emma Konoskapek passing it off to Andrea Thomas for the 3-pointer. Once again, Andrea Thomas with the 2. And finally, Carissa LeCaptain from Andrea Thomas for the 2.
Yes, a tough loss for the Huskies as they fall to the Golden Bears 83-72. Anna Schmidt put up an impressive 26 points with 5 rebounds, contributing to the overall win for Concordia.
While on St. Cloud's end, Carissa LeCaptain finished her last game of the season with 6 rebounds and 20 points.
Not only are members of the men's basketball team receiving postseason honors, but so is one athlete on the women's basketball team. Junior guard Chelsea Nooker was named to the NSIC Women's Basketball All-Conference team and also worked her way onto the All-Defensive team. No one on the women's basketball team has earned a spot on the NSIC first team since Kate Tisheni in 2009. Nooker led the team in assists, steals, and blocks this season.
Coming up after the break,
we take a look at all things men's hockey.
And we say goodbye to some memorable players on the team. Memorable.
You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City.
Bring us up to 10.
Family fun for all ages. Powder Ridge Winter Recreation Area. Enjoy skiing, snowboarding, snow tubing just minutes south of St. Cloud. They provide rental equipment, lessons, 2 food service areas, and lounge. Check out their website at powderridge.com.
Visit utvsnews.com for all of your local news. Watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City. Visit utvsnews.com for all of your local news. You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City. You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City. UTVS News, weekdays at 5 and 6. UTVS News, weekdays at 5 and 6. You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City.
And Black have completely dominated over all teams in the state of Minnesota. The Huskies beat the Beaver, and as far as the Gophers go, SCSU is 2 for the season, with Minnesota losing both games at home 3-2. The Mavericks couldn't buy a game this season as the Huskies went 5-0 against them, sweeping Mankato at home. Leading up to this weekend, St. Cloud State was 2-0 against the Bulldogs. However, that streak was soon to be over.
Adam Johnson gets things going for Duluth 39 seconds into the first period as he sneaks one past Lindgren. 1-0 Duluth. A few minutes later, Brennan Kotick dishes a hard snipe to the back of the net, making it 2-0 Bulldogs. On the power play, Carson Coleman knocked Lindgren down in the net, but the puck crossed the line first, so the goal on the ice stood. Looking to pick it up in the second period, freshman standout Mikey Acimont got the lone goal of the night as he whipped the puck past Kaskasuo. Not quite the game the Huskies were hoping for as they lost this dogfight to the Bulldogs 4-1. And with Mikey Acimont scoring the only goal for St. Cloud, Coach Motzko would have to make some adjustments for Saturday night. Carson Coleman came out strong, putting up a goal and an assist for the Bulldogs.
Starting things out in the second period, Dominic Toninato from the blue line snipes it past Lindgren, making it 1-0 UMD. Second goal of the night, Carson Coleman from Willie Raskob, making the score 2-0 Bulldogs. Shortly after the period, the Huskies finally get up on the board, and it's tic-tac-toe as Patrick Russell scores with an assist from Joey Bennick and Mikey Acimont. Here we have Nicholas Nevelainen just high of the goal, but no goal here. And then Patrick Newell then tries to put it in the net, but it's grabbed out of the air by Kazimir Kasasuo, who was standing on his head the entire game.
Although they battled to redeem themselves on Saturday, the Huskies ended up falling short once again with a score of 2-1.
Carson Coleman put another one up for the Bulldogs while Mikey Acimont gets an assist.
Sophomore goaltender Kazimir Kaskasuo of Minnesota Duluth made a career-high 49 saves Friday night against the Huskies. Saturday night, Kaskasuo came right back, stopping 25 of the 26 shots that came his way.
Senior night was an emotional night for the Huskies as they said goodbye to 7 of their seniors. These seniors will be missed, especially considering they have a total of 639 career points amongst them, as well as 154 games and 92 career wins.
St. Cloud State.
Oh, it's been unreal. You couldn't ask for a better group of guys to share it with, and to be on this team for 4 years wearing this jersey, it's something special.
The Huskies say goodbye to 5 seniors at the end of this season, but they still have a lot more work to do.
St. Cloud State is shaking off the dust that was placed on their shoulders last weekend against Duluth. Here's a closer look at the Huskies' next matchup. The last time the Huskies played the Prowlers, St. Cloud took Colorado College 2-1, but the next night on Saturday, Colorado College came back and dominated the game with a 5-2 win over St. Cloud. The biggest contributors for St. Cloud State in the last matchup against Colorado College, one of which being Mikey Acemont, who held the team with a goal and assist. And then also was Ethan Prow, who had 2 assists, and then shortly following is Jimmy Murray, who also had 2 assists in that weekend series. Looking over to the Colorado College side, Timu Kivahalmi led the Colorado College Prowlers for the whole entire weekend with 2 goals and 2 assists. And then following after, Trevor Gooch with 2 assists and Jake Emilio, who also had 2 assists. Game 2 of the last series against Colorado College, with 7 minutes to go in the third period, Blake Winicky had a 10-minute misconduct. St. Cloud holds a 25-8-1 record overall and are coming off a sweep at home against Minnesota Duluth. They are tied for second in the NCHC with 47 points and are fighting for their chance to hold a grip on the Penrose Cup. Colorado College holds a 6-24-1 overall record. They're also coming off a sweep in Ohio from the matchup against Miami. Colorado College is in last place in the NCHC with 13 points. Puck drop for the last series of the regular season is set for 8:37 p.m. Central Time in Colorado Springs. You can catch the game Saturday night on American Sports Network, otherwise Friday and Saturday night on KCLM FM 99.9. For your preview of this weekend's game, I'm Kirsten Kroll. The Huskies hope to finish the regular season strong with a sweep in Colorado.
Taking a look at the NCHC standings as St. Cloud State fell to the number 3 spot after getting swept by Duluth.
The Huskies now sit right behind Denver, with North Dakota in the number 1 spot.
Minnesota Duluth now sits in the number 4 spot after taking the sweep this past weekend.
Colorado College is in the bottom spot as the Huskies look to keep them there this weekend.
Taking a look here at the USCHO poll, St. Cloud now sits in the 5th after having been 3rd overall in the last poll.
Leading the poll still is Quinnipiac, following fellow NCHC rival North Dakota, as they were below the Huskies the last poll.
Trailing closely behind is Michigan as well as Denver.
Switching things over to pairwise rankings now, St. Cloud State sits 3rd overall right behind North Dakota and Quinnipiac.
Following them is Providence and Boston College, with Denver and Yale tied for 7th place overall.
Also tied in 9th place is Notre Dame and Boston University, with yet another tie as Penn State and Minnesota Duluth are in 14th overall.
After a disappointing weekend against the Bulldogs, the Huskies look to redeem themselves as they head to Colorado Springs to take on the Prowlers. Last time these two teams met at the Brooks Center, SCSU split the series with CC, but with a disappointing 6-25-1 record overall for Colorado College, St. Cloud State needs the sweep, especially after this past weekend.
Coming up after the break,
find out how the women's hockey team matched up with North Dakota.
Watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City. Visit utvsnews.com for all of your local news. You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City. You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City. UTVS News, weekdays at 5 and 6. UTVS News, weekdays at 5 and 6. You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City. UTVS News, weekdays at 5 and 6. UTVS News, weekdays at 5 and 6. You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City. Visit utvsnews.com for all of your local news. You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City.
So, Madison, did you get a chance to watch any of the women's hockey games over the weekend?
I wasn't able to, but I heard there were some great matchups.
There definitely was a lot of great matchups and rematches going on in the WCHA. The smell of competition was in the air throughout the month of February as women's hockey moved into playoffs. All WCHA teams prepared to battle as they were determined to earn their ticket to Van Andel Arena. Wisconsin took on Minnesota State, Minnesota matched up against Ohio State, Bemidji State battled Minnesota Duluth, and finally, North Dakota met St. Cloud State at the Herb Brooks National Hockey Center. In round one of game one of the playoffs, St. Cloud was looking to get vengeance on North Dakota and move on to the next round.
St. Cloud couldn't seem to find the back of the net as they fell at home to North Dakota 6-1. Amy Minke was everywhere on the ice for the Fighting Hawks as she not only had a goal but tracked up 3 assists on the night.
Continuing to look at North Dakota stats, Becca Kohler also had quite a night as she lit the lamp and added a pair of assists to the mix. St. Cloud had to change their game plan to try to push North Dakota to a 3-game series moving forward.
Junior Amy Minke was a big contributor this past weekend as North Dakota swept the Huskies. Minke put up 3 goals throughout the weekend as well as 4 assists. She also totals 40 points with 19 goals and 21 assists thus far in the season. Minke is number 1 overall in total points for this season for North Dakota, and she also ranks 9th overall for the WCHA, and more is to come for her and North Dakota as she heads to round number 2 of the playoffs.
Unfortunately for the St. Cloud State women's hockey team, their season will be over as they fell to the Hawks 6-1 yet again.
Vanessa Spartero would put up the only goal for the Huskies, and it was a power play goal.
For the Hawks, Amy Menke would put up an impressive 2 goals and an assist, and same with teammate Becca Kohler.
St. Cloud finishes their season 13-18-4, while North Dakota heads into the second round with a record of 18-11-5 after sweeping the Huskies.
Despite the women's hockey team season coming to a close, Molly Illikainen still has a reason to celebrate. In the first game against North Dakota, Illikainen found an open Brittany Anderson who had put the puck into the back of the net, giving Molly Illikainen an assist that led to her 99th career point. She is the very first athlete in the St. Cloud women's hockey program to ever get that close to reaching the Century Club.
After the break, find out who is Husky Mag Player of the Week.
And what's coming up for the Huskies, plus our favorite part of the show, Blizzard's Best.
A little bit with some snow, turning over to rain as we go through the day tomorrow.
Currently, it's 44 degrees. The rain did start to come down again. We had a short break there.
Bring us up to 10.
Family fun for all ages. Powder Ridge Winter Recreation Area. Enjoy skiing, snowboarding, snow tubing just minutes south of St. Cloud. They provide rental equipment, lessons, 2 food service areas, and lounge. Check out their website at powderridge.com.
You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City.
With all of the games that have gone on this week, I'm curious to find out what the top plays and who the top player of the week was.
Well, Madison, we're about to find out, but we're just going to have to wait a little bit longer as we take a look at what's going on in Husky sports this week. Coming up this weekend, the men's tennis team takes on Colorado Mesa University, while the softball team heads down to Florida to take on Tiffin University.
The softball team also plays Salem International University down in Clearmont, Florida. And finally, to finish off the regular season, the men's hockey team takes on Colorado College in an NCHC matchup.
A lot coming up here for St. Cloud State, but I kind of wish I was also going down with them to head to Florida with the softball team. It'd be a lot warmer.
I agree with that one.
All right, Madison, while the wait's over, you can now find out, along with the rest of us, who the Mag Player of the Week is.
Mikey Acimont continues to further his success as he was one of the 2 players that scored this past weekend against the Bulldogs, which is why he is our Mag Player of the Week. Acimont put the Huskies on the board in the second period on Friday's game, scoring the only goal for the Cardinal and Black. On Saturday, he assisted Patrick Russell as he scored the only goal once again. Acimont looks to continue contributing when the Huskies take on the Prowlers in Colorado Springs this coming weekend. And now, Kirsten, for our favorite part of the show, we have Blizzard's Best.
Let's take a look here at number 3. It's none other than Andrea Thomas, who throws a floater for the 2-pointer. Taking a look at it again in slow motion here. Just look at how she gets by and passes the ball and then jumps up to get that floater.
Here's number 2, Casilla to Binnick to Acimont to Russell to put the Huskies on the board. Here's another look at that beautiful play as we see our Mag Player of the Week is once again in on the action.
And then moving on to number 1, we're going to take a look at number 1. Casilla passes it over to Bennick, who then delivers it to freshman forward and Mag Player of the Week, Mikey Acimont, who puts a picture-perfect goal and the only Huskies goal for Friday night. Mikey Acimont's a name that we're going to be hearing a lot often, and we've heard a lot in the second half of the season. I don't think he's going to be going anywhere anytime soon. But that about wraps it up for us here at the studio. This has been Kirsten Kroll alongside Madison Golden. We'll see you back here in 2 weeks.
Here at UTVS News, we are always ready for a new day.
Welcome to UTVS News tonight at 6 o'clock.
Following the lead, the action,
bench for the extra attacker, down back,
the tragedies, the unpredictability, and the stories that keep our community informed and together.
UTVS News, local news for the Granite City. Visit UTVS.com and learn more about SCSU's television station. watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City. Visit utvsnews.com for all of your local news. You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City.